Welcome back to Fireside Fears. If you enjoy chilling, immersive horror stories told in the dark, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let the fire crackle, let the night settle in, and let's begin. The voice that followed me home. I used to think paranoia came only from the mind, that fear had no voice unless you gave it one. But after what happened last winter, I know that's not true. I was living alone then, in a small rental house on the edge of a nature reserve. It was cheap, quiet, and supposedly peaceful. The kind of place meant for artists, retirees, or people hiding from something. I wasn't hiding. At least not intentionally. I just needed distance from the city, and distance from the breakup I'd barely crawled out of. The house didn't feel haunted at first. It felt empty. Too empty. The silence there wasn't normal. It felt like a held breath, like the world around me was waiting for something to happen. The first strange thing happened on my third night. I was lying in bed, drifting in and out of sleep, when I heard it. A whisper, very faint, like someone speaking through a crack in a door. Hello? I sat up, heart hammering. The sound had come from the hallway. I waited, holding my breath. Nothing. I eventually convinced myself it was the wind squeezing through the old window frames. But the next night, it happened again. Same whisper, same spot in the hallway. Only this time, the voice sounded more confident. Are you awake? It was spoken softly, like someone trying not to wake anyone else in the house. Except there was nobody else. I grabbed a flashlight and checked the entire place, the rooms, the closets, under the bed, even outside the front door. Nothing. No footprints in the snow. No broken window. No sign of anyone. The voice didn't speak again that night. But I didn't sleep either. By the end of the week, the whispering changed. It didn't ask questions anymore. It called my name. Alex. I froze the first time it happened. Not because it said my name, but because the way it said it was wrong. The cadence, the tone, the rhythm. It sounded like something trying to imitate how humans talk, but missing something essential. Like a recording being played by someone who didn't understand language. I stopped using the hallway after dark. I'd stay in the living room with the lights on, pretending I wasn't listening for it. But the voice grew bolder. It didn't stay in the hallway. It moved. I heard it in the kitchen one night, a low hum under the sound of the refrigerator. I heard it in the bathroom, like someone breathing against the mirror. And eventually, I heard it right behind me. Alex? I spun around so fast the chair toppled, but nothing was there. Just the empty room and the cold air pressing against my neck where the voice had been. That was when I realized something that terrified me more than the voice itself. I wasn't hearing it with my ears. It wasn't echoing off the walls. It wasn't traveling through the air. It was coming from inside my head, but not as a thought, as a presence. Something was close enough to me, or in me, that it didn't need to speak out loud. I tried ignoring it. That made it worse. The voice stopped whispering and started mimicking things. It mimicked my ex's voice, my mother's voice, even my own voice. That one broke me. Hearing yourself speak when your mouth is closed does something to your sanity, especially when the voice is saying things you would never say. Let me in. I'm lonely. You invited me. You brought me here. I didn't understand that last one at the time. The turning point happened during a storm. The power went out, plunging the house into complete darkness. No streetlights, no passing cars, nothing but the sound of wind scraping against the siding. I lit a candle and sat on the floor, trying not to breathe too loudly. Then I heard footsteps. Slow, dragging footsteps in the hallway. Not whispers, not voices. Footsteps. They stopped right outside the living room doorway. But the candle didn't flicker. Nothing moved. Then the voice said, not in a whisper, not in my head, but out loud, I'm in. The temperature dropped so suddenly my fingers went numb, and then a shape appeared in the doorway. Not a person, a silhouette, like the outline of a human figure cut from the darkness itself. It didn't have eyes, but somehow I knew it was staring at me. And then it spoke again. You brought me home the night you arrived. I didn't understand. But then I remembered. The first night I moved in, I took a walk through the forest trail behind the house. The trees were twisted, growing at odd angles. I felt watched the entire time. I heard something pacing behind me, matching my steps. When I hurried, it hurried. When I stopped, it stopped. I thought it was an animal. But what if it wasn't? What if something followed me all the way to the house and stepped inside behind me? The shape drifted closer, not walking, gliding. I backed up until my shoulders hit the wall. The voice, my voice, whispered from the darkness. I live where the silence is, and you moved into my quiet. The candle went out. I don't remember what happened next. I woke up the next morning on the floor, the house ice cold, my breath fogging the air even though the heating was on. The shape was gone, but the silence was worse than ever. I moved out that same day, leaving everything behind. I thought I was safe, until last week. I was lying in bed in my new apartment, drifting into sleep, when I heard it again. Not outside, not down the hall, not in another room, but right behind me. Alex. And then I found your new quiet. The fire's burning low now. If you enjoyed the story, stay close. There are many more to tell. Until next time, sleep with one eye open. You're never truly alone when you're near the fire.